the second era of collision, starting in the spring of 450, the Age of Chaos officially began. Nearly on top of each other came the Mere of Isul, hereafter referred to as Dark Mere, near the Ogres of Broken Moor, in what would become the continent of Rainfall, and the Archai of Roa to the south, in the realm of Whitethor, and nearest to the Dwarves and Kadasa. In what would become the first fruits of their peculiar, distant rivalry, both the Dark Mere and Archai lay claim to arriving prior to the other, though it has never been dutifully determined, and let not either sway you it has. The following cursed frost winter of 459 saw the humans of Vastamith planted against the Rhone Mountains of Kingsreach, mercifully close to the Elves and Fairthale. These were altogether the original Sacred Six, though the title was some time in coming. In the doomful year of 470, the tremors of the Age of Chaos broke through the surface, plainly named the Year of Outbreak. The pregnant inertia of the approaching Deicide War came full term when the Revenant erupted from the Seithe and overwhelmed the Jinto posted on Olam's Hill. This they renamed Buckaroon, or Black Flame. Aside from the gross magnitude of their numbers, an attribute would come to define their reckless and relentless method of warfare. The despotic lord revealed a shrewd and devious act of cunning. For the pantheons of the foreign nations had evil members whose appetite for iniquity was starved by the celestial boundary. Having benefited from dissension himself, the Ravaging Lord set a unique card before the near-dormant immortals, enticing them to high mortal status in exchange for rule, ruin, and revenge. This recruitment seduced to his side a few fallen deities, most notably Osari, he who rages of the humans, and the dead heiress, Hythis Krevgail of the Archai. With these mortal, but immensely powerful warlords infused into his newly formed and massive army, the Ravaging Lord turned his eye to Terminus at large. In the subsequent years, Kinosai and Lost Sidrith fell under their storm, while forces such as the Sidrith Vespers and the Earth Mages of the Majin Kai allied with the emerging military titan. But a strange fuel burned within the ruler of the Revenant, and as soon as his might was great enough to be divided, he broke it into 3 armies, one for each continent of the Sacred Six. Osari was to lead the assault on Kingsreach. Hythis Krevgail would attack out of the snows of Whitethor, and the Ravaging Lord himself would strike upon Rainfall, though this was not yet its namesake. Yet neither the Remnant nor the Six had been idle during this time. In fact, the former had managed a deft campaign of sabotage and diversionary combat against their heinous brethren, most successfully in the critical year of 475. This served 2 ends of vital importance. First, the obvious benefit of forestalling the Revenant and frustrating their otherwise ravenous advance. But secondly, these tactics cast a fog over the delicate union that was forming at the insistence of the Remnant and between the Six. At the summit on Vesu, a mist-soaked island in the midst of 2 converging oceans that nearly disappears for months at a time, the breath of consequence behind the Revenant threat was unfolded to the leadership of each attending race. It was from this historic council that the decision to undertake the Sanctum Edict was made. For the Jinto carried these many years a belief that Itero's power and vision were so great, he would indeed turn the world to darkness that he had prophesied. But before her sacrifice, the patient divination of Janavi had peered even farther beyond his furious gaze and perceived a moment in the midnight of despair, when the flooding tide of battle would break beneath the sons of Terminus. This cryptic impartation was not at first enough to bring the six into one accord, but after days of fervent deliberations, each member planted the herald of their people in the crimson sands of Vesu, swearing fealty against the Revenant until the tide consumes or the suns avail. Therefore, did each pairing begin immediate preparations. The Burning Sanctum would be constructed in the petrified forest of Kelkalar. The Silent Sanctum nestled behind a natural choke point, the mountain Roans. The Frozen Sanctum buried in the storm drifts of Tenebrous Tundra. Each megalithic hulk was conceived with the aim of housing the races for as long as necessary, once they had bled as much attrition out of the Revenant and High Mortal armies as possible. In short, coffins to outlast the night. Thus, in 481, the Deicide War, or War of Gods, came of age on Terminus. After years of smaller conflicts that felled countless nations, cities, and peoples, some forcibly joined with the Revenant, others devoured into extinction. The direct assaults on the 3 continents of the 6 officially consummated in total war. The defense of each was long-suffering, grinding, and acknowledged to be futile, for aside from Kazas, there was no equal to the High Mortals on the field of battle, and certainly no accounting for the mass of Revenant and their allies. What is clear is that Hythus Krevgile fared the worst, and found the teeth of Tenebrous difficult to overcome by itself. At Vesu, Kazas was asked, "But what natural defense shall the Frozen Sanctum have?" To which he famously replied, "Tenebrous, and Tenebrous alone." The Archai and Dwarves waged a choreographed campaign of elusiveness in shrewd tandem, denying the dead heiress an open field to fit with her numerical advantage. The effectiveness was great. Enraged, Hythus Krevgile was finally given an opportunity when word came that the Frozen Sanctum itself was located amidst the blinding squalls. At this news, she ordered the Majin Kai create columns of infernal black flame to burn constantly, slowly encroaching upon the refuge from each side of Tenebrous. This forced the Dwarves and Archai to face a traditional battle, which they deeply prefer, but could not endure to the degree of their War of Shadow. Eventually, the Sanctum was entered by nearly all,